Tonight, South Australia's unemployment rate drops, but concerns still remain in our region. And Port Pirie's ride for the disabled facing an uncertain future.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. South Australia's unemployment rate has dropped by more than 0.5% as the economy begins to bounce back. Port Lincoln advocates say while it's good news for some, hundreds of young people are still struggling to find work.
For young residents in Port Lincoln, it's been months of pain trying to break into the workforce.
Getting a job in the first place is what is the difficult part here in Port Lincoln.
He says it's a common story in regional centres, but a glimmer of hope could be on the horizon. New figures have revealed youth unemployment has dropped by a full percentage, bringing it back to its pre-pandemic levels.
I'm hoping that we'll see a shift in Port Lincoln shortly on that.
South Australia's unemployment rate in April dropped by 0.5%. The state no longer has the worst unemployment in the country, Tasmania instead taking the title. But Port Lincoln's Chamber of Commerce says there's still plenty of work to be done.
It's still not the most ideal situation at the moment, and there are businesses that have been affected by COVID. Some have closed down and some are under threat.
Including saving Port Lincoln's tuna processors, which is facing closure if no work is found, putting more than 100 jobs in limbo. It's hoped the government will throw the business a lifeline. Meanwhile, Port Lincoln's council is preparing to roll out a youth action plan
to help get younger people who are just leaving school into Port Lincoln businesses.
Nathan REGTER, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill's bold plan to be powered by renewable energy within the next decade has been outlined to locals at information sessions today. The Mayor says it will come with an upfront cost, but the long-term savings will be worth it.
Our orange outback city set to become greener. Broken Hill City Council continuing its push to go off the grid.
And if you look at this renewable energy, it makes sense. It makes sense that we look how we harvest the sun.
Council is planning for all of its power to come from renewable sources by 2023. In an ambitious move, it then wants to support the city to become carbon neutral by the end of the decade.
We received a very comprehensive report on the options open to council.
The Renewable Energy Action Report outlined to the public at information sessions today. The flagship idea will be another solar farm, but one which will feed directly to the community.
That's a project where instead of spreading panels over lots of roofs, you put them in one spot, and then you need a retail mechanism so that you can share that energy across all of council sites.
Next year's budget includes $50,000 to begin the planning process. Construction will come at a cost, but our Mayor says it will save money in the long term and any surplus energy could be passed on to businesses or those in need.
If we're saving costs, back to the bottom line, if we're saving costs, we can spend more on roads, rates and rubbish.
LACHLAN, ITTER, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A 44-year-old Peterborough man will appear in court after police allegedly located cannabis plants yesterday afternoon. Around 3 o'clock, police searched the property and uncovered a small hydroponic setup. 2 cannabis plants, equipment and a quantity of dried cannabis were seized. The man was reported for cultivating cannabis and possessing prescribed equipment. Police are hoping to reunite the owners of some personal belongings found during a search of a Wyler Stewart property last month. It's alleged that on March 24, suspects broke into the victim's home and stole these watches, along with jewellery and other items. 4 people have been arrested over the matter, with 2 of the suspects remanded in custody to appear in court next month. Police are urging anyone who recognises the items to contact the Wyler Police Station. A Broken Hill delegate to the Murray-Darling Association Conference believes attitudes towards the Darling River and Menindee Lakes are shifting. Councillor Marion Brown says there was a broad understanding of the environmental importance of the river system, and most would like to see water retained in the lakes.
They need to be very much more mindful and precise in what they do with the water from the lakes. So I think it was a good outcome.
A motion to pursue Ramsar status for the lakes was passed. If successful, they would be recognised as a habitat of international significance. Port Pirie's Riding for the Disabled Association is desperately searching for a new coach to keep its services going, helping those living with a disability learn new skills by riding horses. The program is life-changing for many Mid-North families.
Riding towards a bright future, there's no horsing around at Port Pirie's Ride Club.
I feel a lot better coming here than staying home.
This Spalding family driving over an hour to bring 13-year-old Jemima to her weekly session.
She has Phelan-McDermott syndrome, which is the tip of the chromosome 22 deleted.
Despite being non-verbal, the program has made a world of difference.
Jemima has to sit up and concentrate on her posture, so her midsection is quite weak. She's got to listen to instructions, and sometimes she's actually said words on the horse, which is incredible.
It's a similar story for Corns River, who is already feeling a positive impact.
Coordination and balance required to get on the horse and ride the horse have been fantastic for him, and we can see huge improvements already.
But the club's future is facing hurdles. Volunteers are reaching retirement and the group is desperately looking for new horse coaches.
The centre can't run unless we have an accredited coach. I'm getting a bit long in the tooth and looking towards retiring, and at the moment we've got nobody in training.
A campaign has begun to seek community support and stop the doors from closing for good. This local MP is urging residents to sign up.
Part of an organisation, they will get some enjoyment out of this here, and they'll see the enjoyment on the faces of those people, but the association needs to have more volunteers out here.
More information can be found online. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, a decision date for Clean Seas Fitzgerald Bay project in sight, and Port Lincoln wakes to a misty start as fog covers the city. Welcome back. While a City Council says a decision on whether Clean Seas can use the Point Lowly Marina will be made at the end of the month, the member for Giles supporting aquaculture in the city, but says its operations need to be sustainable.
Almost 3 years on, a proposed kingfish farm near Whyalla remains on the hook. It'll stay that way a little longer, with council to decide on May 31 whether or not Clean Seas can use the Point Lowly Marina.
They sought some additional clarification from both Clean Seas and the government regarding potential impacts on nearby residents, as well as the marine environment, as well as the economic benefits.
The member for Giles supports aquaculture investment, saying Whyalla needs a diversified economy. However, with opinions divided, he believes it has to be sustainable and transparent.
At the end of the day, the council's not the approving authority for aquaculture in Fitzgerald Bay. That responsibility lies with state government agencies.
Infrastructure Minister Corey Wingard says the state government supports the proposal that creates 70 jobs and grows exports. Also saying he understands another council vote will be held soon and is hopeful the right decision will be made. Council says the delay shouldn't affect Whyalla's reputation with investors.
Council is carefully considering the various considerations and will make an informed decision, and whatever decision is made will be a good decision based on good rationale.
Clean Seas was contacted but did not comment before deadline. Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
It was a misty start for residents in Port Lincoln this morning as a thick blanket of fog submerged the city. Morning walkers struggled to see 3 feet ahead of them, while fishing boats had a challenge to offload their catch.
An eerie morning at Port Lincoln's marina as fishing boats disappeared, consumed by thick fog.
Going out to the seaside, you still can't see, but it's amazing for Port Lincoln to have fog like this.
The pea super rolled in thick and fast overnight as temperatures plummeted.
A minimum got down to 5.7, and that's about 5 degrees below average for this time of year.
A morning walker cut a lonely figure through the mist, determined to get her exercise in, even though she couldn't see where she was going.
This morning was 7 o'clock when I left for my walk. It was incredible. I possibly wouldn't have been able to see 3 feet in front of me.
There were some safety concerns for this morning's school drop-off with low visibility on our roads. While out on the water, prawn boats had a challenge offloading their catch.
I was watching some coming in and I was thinking of the prawn boats because they usually head around to unload, and I thought, golly, they're going to have it hard this morning trying to back in to unload their catch.
We've had a lot of cloud around over the last few days, but our clouds cleared, so that blanket, so to speak, lifted, and whether the temperatures were able to cool down.
By late this morning, the fog had cleared. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Pirie residents woke to music this morning, with pianist Peter Hackwoyle visiting the main street. He says he loves bringing the joy of sound to the regions by playing his piano in various unique locations.
Normally a quiet street in the early hours of the morning, today it was filled with music. Peter is touring the countryside once again, sharing his music with regional communities.
Music influences people, so I love just playing in the street because you get to talk to people.
There's not much places he hasn't ticked off, saying he's visited much of our patch.
Port Germain, that was fun on the end of the jetty, that was last year, and Burra. Midnight Oil House, there's a Midnight Oil House in Burra. Kimber, Iron Knob, I got to play on the main street of Iron Knob.
A travelling piano may seem like an awkward companion, but he now has his routine down pat.
I don't know, somehow I got the idea of having a piano on wheels, and then I've started busking a while back, and then the streets come from busking.
You can find more information on where he'll be next on his Facebook page.
Actually, sure. I guess next will be probably some jetties. I want to do some playing on the end of jetties.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us. Port Augusta school students swap the classroom for the running track. And we meet the Broken Hill swimmers making a splash at a state level. A week-long crackdown on QR codes has come to an end today, with police saying they're pleased with the results. During Operation Trace, QR check-ins increased by more than 500,000 a day, the highest daily check-in totalling 1.7 million. More than 500 people were cautioned and 83 businesses warned, while one masseuse was slapped with a $1,000 fine. Police are hopeful residents will continue to check in. Indigenous group Electric Fields has been named as a major headliner for the Broken Hill Festival. The multi-award-winning group combines traditional culture and electric music, with singer Zachariah Fielding often singing in his traditional Anangu language. They'll perform on the main stage at the festival and host a pop-up performance in the town square. Seaview Christian College students swapped the classroom for the track today as part of the annual Run for Bibles, raising money for children overseas. Teachers say they're proud to see students be a part of something that's helping others.
For these students, today's race around this track is more than just a fun run.
We are running for Bibles.
In its third year, they're clocking up the metres, raising money to buy Bibles for underprivileged children in South Africa.
By running, they are eligible to be able to collect money. It's not a per lap issue. It's simply if they get to run today, they can collect money and bring it into the school, and we'll tally it up at the end and let them know how many Bibles they've been able to purchase.
It's one lap around the 800-metre track. Although proving a challenge, students say it's a worthwhile cause.
It was a bit hard, but I know it's worth it at the end.
It makes you feel good because you're actually doing something for another country that is really poor in the world and doesn't have much things.
Teachers proud to see the children get involved and help make a difference in the lives of others.
Today I was so impressed. There was some children that have run in times that I've never seen them do before, and it was just wonderful. And also seeing the older kids encouraging the younger ones to get involved and complete the race, it was just very heartwarming.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill swimming young guns have been recognised among the best in the state, with more than 20 locals named in the Junior Excellence Programme. The results giving a motivational boost and showing swimmers where they stand.
They're only just starting their swimming careers, but these Broken Hill youngsters are already making waves. The Australian Junior Excellence Program recognises swimmers across the country who exhibit professional potential.
It's criteria set from Swimming Australia, different standards for them to achieve, just to give them a bit of feedback on how they're going at the moment.
12 swimmers from the Silver City Swim Club making the list, a further 9 from the Broken Hill Aquatic Club. Silver City's head coach says the local talent pool is only getting bigger.
From a small country town, it's fantastic to have that many swimmers, and it seems to be improving each year. The numbers are getting bigger, so we're really excited.
Being named in the JX program is no mean feat, results calculated by official times.
It takes a lot of practice. I've taken 2-3 years to get this done.
Beyond recognition for their hard work, it also shows swimmers how they compare to others from across SA and provides an extra incentive.
Whenever I get a JX, the first thing that comes to my head is you need to get a better level of JX.
Teaching is the main thing at this level. They love to learn.
LACHLAN ITTER, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll go around the region and preview the weekend's footy action. And we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Hello again. Our region's footy leagues are back this weekend with some mouth-watering clashes in store. Here's our footy experts with their tips.
Hello and welcome to round 5 of SGL football. Central make the trip here to Memorial Oval for the second week in a row, this time to face the Lions. Both sides have only had the one loss this season and this game should be a ripper. I'm going to tip the Lions. West are yet to win a game this season, while Ports only have the one win back in round 1. I'm going to tip Ports there. Up in Port Augusta, it's Sollies who travel to take on South. Sollies are sitting top of the table and are looking the goods this season. I'm going to tip Sollies.
Big round of matches coming up in Wyler football this week. It's on Friday night tonight at Bennett Oval. Central Isla versus Rapina. Roos are just getting a little bit better each game, but I think the Central's team this year is looking pretty good and the Roosters should have a win. Saturday's game at Bennett Oval, South Wyler versus West Wyler. West have ended up top of the ladder at this point of the season. They're travelling along nicely and they should account for the Demons. And probably the match of the round will be at Memorial Oval on Saturday. Waruna Bay versus North. A real close one the first time they played, but home ground advantage should see the Magpies sneak across the line again.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Footy Tips. We kick things off with match of the round, where Lincoln South are hosting Waybacks at Centenary Oval. I'm tipping Lincoln South to win by less than 10 points. In the next game, we've got Boston's hosting Mallee Park at Paul Oval. Mallee Park are coming off a big loss last week, and they're going to want to make amends for it. I'm tipping them to win this one and win this one by a lot. In the final game, we've got Tasman's hosting Marble Range at Ravendale Oval. Marble Range are undefeated, and they're not going to lose this week. They're going to beat Tasman's and beat Tasman's by a lot.
Round 7 of Broken Hill football, and the match of the day is at Alma Oval. South are taking on West. This is a game between the two heavyweights of the Broken Hill competition. West are the up-and-comers, South are the reigning champs. Who's going to win? I'm going for South on their home turf. Let's go to Jubilee Oval where North plays Central. Last time they met, Central should have won. They should have beaten North, they didn't. Can they do so tomorrow? I don't think so. The Bulldogs get Kelly back. He's their star. He'll be the difference.
Time now to check what the weekend weather forecast across Spencer Gulf and Broken Hill is looking like. With all the details, here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, John. And we've made it through another week. As you saw earlier, it was a foggy start in some parts, but it turned into a beautiful day. For around 3 p.m, Wyler partly cloudy 24, Port Lincoln sunny 21, and Port Pirie partly cloudy and 25. Looking further out now, Port Augusta partly cloudy and 25, Broken Hill 20, Woodner, Kadina, Cleve 25, Clare partly cloudy 23, Broken Hill 20, Adelaide mostly sunny 21, Cooper Pedy partly cloudy and 24. Taking a look at the satellite image now, patchy cloud over central and northeastern areas with a weak upper trough is not rain bearing, largely clear skies elsewhere due to a high pressure ridge and a dry air mass. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. North to northeasterly winds about 10 knots, seas below 1 metre, and south to southwesterly swell around 1 metre. To the weekend's forecast now, mainly fine conditions on Saturday. Port Lincoln mostly sunny and 22 degrees. Cleve sunny and 24, Woodness sunny and 25. Mostly sunny in Whyalla 23, Port Augusta 25 and Kadina 22 degrees. Port Pirie sunny and 24, Clare mostly sunny and 22, and Broken Hill be partly cloudy, also set to reach a high of 22 degrees there. And on Sunday, perfect conditions for the final day of the Clare Gourmet Festival. Partly cloudy conditions across the region with temperatures in the mid-20s. Taking a look through to next week now, windy conditions across most parts of the region on Monday, rain in Woodner and Port Lincoln, partly cloudy in Adelaide, Broken Hill and Port Pirie. Wet conditions across most parts on Tuesday, temperatures mainly in the low 20s, windy in Broken Hill, rain across Woodner, Whyalla, Port Lincoln, Port Pirie, Kadina and Adelaide, partly cloudy in Cooper Pedy. Well, it's finally the weekend and some good weather is in store, which is good news because it's looking likely to disappear next week. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. Back to you.
Good stuff. Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news for tonight and the week. Just a reminder to follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. I'm John Hunt. Thanks for your company. I'll have updates later, and Ruby Kemain will be with you on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend. Good night.